Hi, welcome to a brand new live watercolor tutorial. Today we will be painting 3 types of watercolor mushrooms. Okay, hold on. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, I'm going to set up my phone here. It will shake for a minute as I get it. Okay. Hi everyone. Hi Sarah. Hi Joyce. Hi Liz. Okay, so this outline here is below in the description for you to download and transfer onto your watercolor paper. Okay, and sorry about this. I'm trying to make sure all of the mushrooms are in my camera. Okay. So yeah, this outline is below and then in the description of this video, as well as photos of these mushrooms. So this is a saffron milkcap right here. This here is the Amanita Muscaria. I think that's how you say it. And then this one here is the witch's hat. And these mushrooms are actually part of a fungi art challenge that I'm doing right now. And so if you wanted more details on that, the link to the art challenge is in the description as well. So now I'm going to go over my supplies that I'm using for this painting. I'm using cold pressed watercolor paper from Arches. My brushes here are from Princeton. I have size 8 round brush, Princeton Neptune, a size 4 round brush, and the size 0 round brush. Hi Michelle. Hi Volmond Madel. I probably said your username wrong. Hi Sarah. And I have white gouache here because I'm going to be using this for my Amanita Muscaria mushroom for the white dots. I did draw out the white dots for you in the outline if you wanted to instead just use the white of your paper for those spots. Okay, and then my paints here that I'm using are, let's see, I have Payne's Gray from Daniel Smith, Burnt Umber, and Serpentine Green, all these from Daniel Smith. I have this Winsor Red from Winsor Newton. I have this Aussie Red Gold from Daniel Smith, this Isodoline Yellow Deep from Holbein, Hansa Yellow Medium from Daniel Smith, Naples Yellow from Winsor Newton, and Chinese White from Winsor Newton. So all of these are linked in the description of the video, as well as all of the other supplies. Okay. Hi, good morning. I see Joy is here. Hi, Joy. I see Des. Hi, Leanna, Lisette. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm really excited it's Friday. Okay, so let's get started. I think for this painting, I am going to kind of like go back and forth with each mushroom. So we'll first do the first layer on each mushroom, and then we will go back around and do like the second layer and add more detail. Okay, so this mushroom here is the Saffron Milkcap, and when I look at photos of this mushroom, I can see it has some brown and orange in it. So I think for this one, I will be using my Naples Yellow, maybe this Chinese White, and this orange here. So I think I'm going to use basically these colors and Payne's Gray and maybe this Burnt Umber. Okay. And then I'm thinking when we're done, if I have time, that I will paint maybe some leaves around these mushrooms or something like that. We'll see. Lisette says, I love your palette. Is it ceramic? Yeah, I just got this. It was a gift from my mom and I love it. I actually have the name of the shop right here. Lavender Lemon Pottery on Etsy. Okay. So the first layer is going to be very light. I'm first going to start with my size 4 round brush, and this is probably the brush I will be using the most for this painting. And I'm going to start with just the lightest color I see in this mushroom. So I'm going to use this Naples yellow here. I'm just going to mix it on my palette. Okay, and then I'm going to take some of this Chinese white. I have a little bit of blue in it, so I'm going to kind of take that off. Okay, I'm going to mix some of this Chinese white. So basically, I'm just trying to mix like a very light brownish orange color, or just like a very light orange. And I want there to be a good amount of water too, because this is the first layer. You're welcome, Lisette. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to first cover this whole entire mushroom with this color here. So those of you who are doing the Fall Fungi Challenge, how are you liking it so far? Are you enjoying it? It's been really fun to see all of your guys' mushrooms. I'm actually behind. I haven't painted I think day 3 and 4, which was, gosh, is today day 4? I can't remember, but I haven't painted the second mushroom yet. I'm behind. Yeah, so we're just covering this whole mushroom with this color. And then at the ends of the stems here, I think I'm going to make them look a little like dirty, and then add maybe just a little bit of like grass or whatever around like at the ends of them. Okay, so yeah, we'll let this dry and then come back to it when it's dry. Thank you, Grain. Yeah, this is from this Etsy shop here. I didn't link her Etsy in the description, and it's not sponsored or anything. It's just a palette that my mom got me, and I love it. So, okay. Now we will move on to this mushroom here, and let me just move my camera a little closer. I feel like it is kind of far away. So yeah, I will be moving my camera around here as I paint these mushrooms. Okay. Full Mon says, I totally enjoy it. I haven't painted many mushrooms before, so it's a nice practice in a super nice community. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying it. What is your name, by the way? That's not your username. I'd love to know. Okay. Grain says, did he say where it was from? Oh, yeah, I just showed you. You probably commented that before I showed you. Okay. So this mushroom here is red, and then the stem is like gray. So I think we'll start with like a very, like we'll use the wet and wet, the wet and wet method. So like a light reddish orange, and then I'll drop in some darker red. So for this mushroom, I will probably use my Windsor red and maybe this Isodoline Yellow Deep from Holbein. It's like a red and an orange. Okay. So I'm going to take this red, put it on my palette. And I'm going to add a little bit of this orange to it. Okay, and then I am going to add a good amount of water. I want this to be light. I'm just going to paint this whole mushroom, this whole top of the mushroom, this color here. And I'm going to try and work fast because I want this to stay wet so that I can drop in a darker red. I don't want it to dry yet. Okay, so now I'm making sure it's wet. It's pretty wet now. And I'm gonna just take this Windsor red right from the pan here and drop it in at the top. And at the bottom. And then I'm cleaning my brush, and I still have a little bit of water in my brush, and I'm just gonna kind of help this blend. And then I'm going to wipe a little bit away, like right here, to make like a highlight. So I'm wiping it away with my brush and wiping my brush on my paper towel. And then I'm going to wipe some away, like right here. And then a little bit like up here. Okay, and so we'll let this dry, and we'll move on to the stem. And I'm going to read some of your comments. Des says, all pretty mushies. And she says, been enjoying seeing all of the mushies. Me too. My name is Laura. Okay, your name is Laura. Good to know. And okay. Okay. I will I'll have to find you on Instagram. Hannah says, good morning. Hi, Hannah. And then Sarah says, what color are you using on that mushroom? Okay, so the red here is Windsor red. And then I'm also using a little bit of this Isodoline Yellow Deep from Holbein. So those are like the two colors I used for this. And then this mushroom up here, I used Naples Yellow from Winsor & Newton and Chinese White from Winsor & Newton. Okay. So the stem here, it's a lot of different colors because it's white, but the white reflects like a lot of colors. So I'm just going to start very light. I'm going to take this Chinese white here, and I think I'm just going to kind of mix that Chinese white a little bit into this yellow. And then paint the entire mushroom. So it's basically like very, very light yellow, or like a very light warm white. You can also use like a very light gray. That'll work too. This is just what I'm choosing to use. Okay, so we'll let this dry, and now we'll move on to this mushroom here. Okay, so this mushroom is called the witch's hat. And if you're just joining, I did link photos of all these mushrooms in the description, as well as my outline to this painting that you can trace onto your watercolor paper. Okay, so this mushroom here, it looks kind of like slimy. So that's what these are right here. It's kind of like a reflection, slimy reflection. And then this mushroom has yellow and orange, and probably a little bit of green as well. Like all of these will probably have a little bit of green in them because they'll reflect from like the grass around them. Okay, so I think I'll start, like I'll use the wet and wet method like over here. So maybe I'll first start with like a very light yellow and then drop in some red. So I'm going to use this Hansa Yellow Medium from Daniel Smith. It's just like a yellow. So I'm going to use yellow, and then this Windsor red here, and I'll probably even use some of this orange. I have yellow already on my palette, so I'm just going to use this and then maybe just take some of this here. And I want this to be light, so I'm trying to use a lot of water. Okay, and I'm going to paint at least the very top here. I'm going to paint this all yellow and then paint around these slimy reflection areas. Although there's a chance I might use white gouache to paint them, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to drop in some red, some Windsor red here. So I'm going to paint down here red, and then kind of like have this red blend into the yellow, like this. Okay, and I'm going to take some orange, kind of drop some of that in as well, like in between the yellow and the red. And I'm cleaning my brush. And now I'm just kind of helping these colors a little bit. And I painted over this little like slice. I made like a little slice in this mushroom and I painted over it. It's okay. Okay, so yeah, we'll let that dry. Okay, I'm looking at some photos, so that's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm trying to see what color this inner part would be. But let's just go ahead and paint in the stem. So the stem is basically yellow. So I'm just going to start with like a very light yellow, and then when that dries, we'll go back in and add some other colors and more detail. So I'm just going to paint this whole stem very light yellow. Okay. All right. I think for underneath the mushroom, like under here, I'm going to paint. I'm going to start with like a red. It's like some of this red here. And it's light, so I'm using a good amount of water. Are any of you guys who are watching live, are you painting these with me? It's okay if you work ahead on that fungi challenge, because that's what I'm doing right now. You can cheat a little bit if you want. Okay, so I'm going to move my camera so you can see this mushroom here. Okay, so we're back to this mushroom, and this is the Saffron Milkcap. And now we are going to add more detail. Okay. So I think first we will add, like, paint in the shadows. And then we will paint in some of the orange areas. So for the shadows, I am going to use, let's see, I think a mixture of Payne's Gray and burnt umber. So like kind of like a gray brown. And these are both from Daniel Smith. So I'm going to take some of this Payne's Gray. I'm just going to put a little bit on my palette here. Then some of this burnt umber. Sarah says that she is painting with me. Yay! Laura says, I'm actually painting a butterfly right now. Sadly missed this challenge. That's okay. You're painting a butterfly? Are you perhaps doing my butterfly challenge that I did last month? Or are you just painting a butterfly on your own? Okay, so there's like a little indent here at the top of this mushroom. So I'm gonna paint in that shadow. Okay, like that. And then I'm cleaning my brush. And then with some water and my brush, I'm going to blend. Going to kind of, yeah, blend a little bit. Fade that shadow out. And then there is a shadow under here, but there's also some lines, some like gills. I think that's what they're called, like some gill lines. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and paint those in. Trying to find a good photo to look at. Okay. So I'm going to use my size 0 round brush here and take some of this gray brown color. And it looks like the gills only go maybe halfway, like this. So I'm painting like 2 at a time and then using my brush here. I just cleaned my brush and now I'm blending with a little bit of water that's in my brush. And I'm trying to leave some of that lighter color that we first painted with exposed. So there's like a little highlight, and then I'm gonna kind of fade those lines out. Okay. So again, I'm cleaning my brush. And then blending with some water. And then as we go more this way with these gills, they start to slowly point up and then towards the right. So now I'm going to make these kind of more straight. And then now I'm making these point more towards the right. And then I'm going to paint this far one over here that's basically just the outer edge, and then another one. And when this dries, I will go back in and touch up this area, add more depth to these gills. But we'll let that dry first. Laura says, I found a photo of a brimstone I took 2 years ago on my phone and thought I might try this, but I might take your list and try these if it's okay to join way too late. Yeah, let's see. You can still join my butterfly challenge. Just I don't know if I have the link anywhere. I might in a past video. Or you can always email me and I can send you the link to the 10-day watercolor butterfly challenge. Or I do have a 30-day challenge that I did in May. That's just like a prompt list. That's on Instagram. Okay. Joy says, I love to paint local Tennessee nature and wildlife, so I am painting different mushrooms and fungi, but following along too. That's so cool, Joy. That's awesome. Okay, so now with this mushroom, I am going to paint with some burnt umber. At least for now, I'll use burnt umber. I'm gonna paint like a little shadow here. That kind of separates these gills from like the stem. And I'm cleaning my brush, and then with some water, I'm just gonna kind of blend this. And kind of gently blend it up, not too far. I don't wanna like mess up those gills I just painted. And now I'm going to add some orange because this mushroom has some orange in it. Not everywhere. It looks like it has like orange just in random areas. So I'm going to use this Isodoline Yellow Deep from Holbein. It's basically just like an orange. I'm just going to add it here in my palette where my red is too, because it's okay if some red gets into it. It's actually not a bad thing. Might just add more interest to the mushroom if you have a little bit of red too. Okay. Laura says, okay, thanks. I'll look it up on your Instagram. Okay, cool. Hi Joy. I mean Joe. Hi Joe. She says, hi everyone. So glad to drop by to watch some of the live tutorial. Well, I'm glad you're here. Okay, so I think I'm just going to add some orange and random areas. So I'm going to start like maybe over here, I'll add some. Okay, and then I'm cleaning my brush, and with some water and my brush, I'm just gonna kind of scrub at that color, make some textury brush strokes. Kind of, yeah. Okay, and then I'm gonna take more of this orange, and let's see, maybe I'll add some like over here. Then again, I'm cleaning my brush, and then with some water, just gonna kind of move this paint around, scrub at it. So as you can see, I'm just kind of leaving some texture because this mushroom has like a lot of texture. It's not like, it doesn't look like a smooth mushroom. It just has a lot of imperfections. And then I'm gonna add some over here in the shadow. So those of you who are doing the fungi challenge, the fungi art challenge, are you behind like I am? I guess I'm kind of ahead because I'm painting these mushrooms ahead of time, but I just haven't painted the puffball yet. I probably won't be able to until this weekend. Oops. I just messed up. Okay, I accidentally painted right here. Okay, I'm cleaning my brush very well here, and taking some clean water, and I'm just gonna kind of okay, I'm gonna kind of wipe this away. It's fine. Okay, so there are like some orange areas in the stem too. So now I'm going to work on the stem a little bit. And as I paint on these gills, I need to be careful to not mess up those lines. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, let this dry, and then I will go back into it when it's dry and add even more detail and then finish it off. So let's move on to the Amanita Muscaria mushroom. Hannah says, I saw your fox wood slice on Instagram. So beautiful, Allison. Thank you, Hannah. Yeah, I am doing a collaboration with another artist, and I have to paint wood slices, and this is the one she's talking about. Yeah. I am posting, well, I'm going to show my process of this wood slice in my next vlog that comes out on Tuesday, in case you wanted to see some behind the scenes. Okay, so this mushroom here, let me bring up some photos on my tablet beside me. So I really like how the coloring is, but I think I'm going to add a bit more red, just a little bit more red in some areas, and then kind of paint in a shadow under here. So I'm going to take my size 4 round brush and just take some of this from the pan here. This is Winsor Red from Winsor & Newton. I'm just going to add a little bit at the top. And then I'm going to blend with some water. Okay, and then I might take a little bit of this orange. I also like to sometimes paint with some orange when I paint these mushrooms, not just red. It just gives them more like depth. Hi Inez, how are you today? Hi Claire, is Quinn with you? If she is, hi Quinn. I missed you. I feel like I haven't seen you very much. Okay, I don't want to paint over those highlights that I made. Just need to be careful not to do that. Okay, I'm gonna add a bit more orange over here. I feel like it does need a bit more red too. I'm gonna add some more red. Okay, and I'm cleaning my brush, and then with some water, I'm gonna kind of blend that red a little bit. Okay, Claire says she loves it when you say hi. So cute. Yeah, I missed seeing you. I feel like you weren't here during the last live video, or maybe the last few. Inez says, so hot here, trying to finish some paintings. Nice. It's actually pretty cool where I am today. Like it's high 73 Fahrenheit, which is pretty cool. Like, I feel like it's usually hot this time of year. So it's kind of weird. Okay, I am mixing a little bit of this Payne's Gray with burnt umber. I want to add a shadow. So I'm going to kind of paint in like a shadow. Like this. Okay, and then I'm cleaning my brush. And then with water, I am blending. I don't want to blend too much into my mushroom because, you know, I want to keep that nice red orange color. I'm just going to blend a little bit into the red. I'm going to take my tinier brush, my size 0 round brush, and add a bit more. Okay, so I'll let that dry. And then depending on what it looks like when it's dry, I might add a bit more color to it. So let's move on to the stem. This time I want to add some shadow. So I'm going to first just start out with burnt umber here, maybe mixed in with a little bit of Payne's Gray. And I'm going to start at the, like underneath the cap. So I'm going to paint this in and then have one side be more shadow. So like kind of angle the shadow to the left. Okay, and then I'm cleaning my brush and then blending with water. Then I'm taking more of that color and painting in, I can't remember what this is called here, but painting this in. Just kind of like the outline. And then I'm cleaning my brush, and then with some water, I'm just gonna kind of go over the outline and paint it and just kind of soften that up, so it doesn't really look much like an outline. I'm gonna take more of that color here, and I'm gonna add some underneath and have it angle towards the left. And then cleaning my brush and then blending with some water. Taking more of that color, and I'm going to paint kind of like on the outside here. Blend. Same over here. Okay, I think that's good for now. I'll let that dry, and then we'll move on to this mushroom right over here. Claire says, these mushrooms are awesome. Thank you. Oh, and she says, let's see, she says, yeah, it has been a while. My third pet, yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Her third pet passed away in December, and then two with a couple weeks from each other. So my mind went to reorganize the whole house with 5 kids. So ready to be back. Yeah, I'm sorry, Claire. That's hard. So hard. And she asked, how is Leo? Leo is good. He's good. Crazy sometimes, but good. Hi, Tamara. She says, hi, love to see this. Thank you for teaching us. You're welcome. Okay, I'll read some more of your comments here in a few minutes. But first, let's see. I'm looking at some photos now of this mushroom here. This is the witch's hat. And let's see. I want to add some shadow. Now. And I kind of want to paint maybe with like a light yellow on top of these highlights. I don't know if I like them very much. So I'm going to take some of this yellow here. Just kind of, I will go back in with white gouache and like work more on the highlights. Okay, and then I want to add some more color like I did over here. And okay, yeah, I think I'm going to add more red. So I'm going to take my Winsor red. Hi Fallon. Fallon says, hi Allison and everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you. I hope you're doing well too. Okay, so I'm gonna paint with red over here. I really wish I didn't paint over this slit in the mushroom, but it's okay. All right, and I'm cleaning my brush. I'm blending that red a little bit into the rest of the mushroom. And I'm going to add some of this orange. This is Isodoline Yellow Deep from Holbein. Yeah, I guess I'm not too worried if I paint over the highlight because I will go in with white gouache. If you don't have white gouache or like a white gel pen, you might not want to paint over the highlights. I'm going to add some of this yellow. I kind of want to add more red. I feel like this Winsor red, I don't know. I kind of want to add a little bit of orange to it. So I'm just putting it on my palette here. And then I'm going to add some orange to it. I cleaned my brush. And then blending with some water. Okay, we'll let that dry and then add even more detail. So let's see, for the stem, I want to add a bit more yellow to it and then maybe some green. So I'm going to take some of this yellow. I'm kind of making horizontal lines and I'm leaving some of that lighter yellow exposed. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this orange and add some of that in. By the way, if you haven't yet, it would mean a lot to me if you could give this video a thumbs up. It'll just help my channel and help this video get found more. That'd mean a lot to me. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna add a shadow now to like right underneath the top. So right here, I'm gonna add a shadow. And I'm just going to do what I did with these other mushrooms. Take some burnt umber and Payne's Gray. And I'm going to have the shadow kind of angle to the left a little bit. I'm cleaning my brush, and then I'm going to blend with some water now. I don't want to blend too much into the stem though. Okay, and then let's see. For underneath the stem, underneath the cap, I think let's see. I think I'll use a little bit of orange now in some areas. I'm gonna take some of this orange. Clean my brush, and then just paint a little bit with it. I am leaving some of that lighter color exposed. Okay, so we will let that layer dry. Now we'll move on to back to the Saffron Milkcap. So I'm going to move my camera. Okay, now I want to finish this mushroom now. So let's see. I want to make the shadows more intense. Okay, so I'm going to take my size 4 round brush. This time I'm going to add a little bit of green to my shadows. So I have this green here, it's called Serpentine Green from Daniel Smith. It's my favorite green ever. And I'm just gonna put some on my palette here. I'm gonna mix this a little bit into my brown. I'm going to add a little bit over here. And then underneath, I'm cleaning my brush and then with some water blending. I'm going to add that green brown mixture a little bit in some areas. Because as you know, mushrooms are not like perfectly clean or like perfect. They have imperfections. And if you paint some imperfections on them. It just makes them look more real. So yeah, I'm just adding a few imperfections. And I think I will add a bit more orange as well. So I'm going to take some of this orange and add some in areas. Oops, I keep hitting my camera, sorry. This is like the fun part of painting, when you add like the details and stuff. And notice how I'm keeping some of the very first light layer exposed. Okay, now I'm going to paint in the gills a bit more. I'm going to kind of make them look more intense, I guess. So I'm going to mix burnt umber with a little bit of green. Oops, sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, and I am going to, just paint in these gills, but this time I'm just lightly painting them in, just a little bit. And I probably won't do any blending. This is just to help bring out those shadows. Although I might do a little bit of blending. So I'm blending with some water. And I'm going to add some of this color just right underneath the cap. Then blend with water. And as I'm blending this, I am blending into the darker, like the shadows of the gills, like this, as you can see. So I don't blend too much into the lighter highlights. I'm going to take that color again and add a little bit up here. Okay, and then I'm going to also use some of this color here, kind of paint the outer edge. To create some kind of like shadow, to give this mushroom more depth. And then kind of down here too. And I'm going to paint in some like dirt and greenery. That'll probably be the last thing I do with all of these. So I'll do that with all of them last. I'm going to add some more of this over here. Okay, I think I'm done with this mushroom now. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, excuse me while I adjust my camera. Okay, so this mushroom here, we will add some more shadow, some imperfections, a little bit of green, and then we'll paint in the white spots with white gouache. Joy says, I have to leave, but beautiful work on the mushrooms. I love how bright and vivid they are. Thank you, Joy. I hope you have a wonderful Friday. Okay, let's see. For the shadows, I'm going to use the same kind of color we used for the other one. So a little bit of this green mixed into brown. So again, this is serpentine green and burnt umber, both from Daniel Smith. And I might actually add a little bit of Payne's Gray as well to kind of darken it up a little bit. I'm going to add this here, like that, so the shadow angles to the left. And I'm cleaning my brush. Then I'm going to blend with water. I'm going to do the same thing underneath this flap. There's like a correct name for it. I just forgot what it is. Then blend. And I'm going to take my size 0 round brush here, take that color again, and then kind of add a little bit more detail. And I'm going to add some of this towards the bottom. Then blend with water. And notice how I'm not blending perfectly. Like, it's not a perfect gradient, there's texture to it. I'm going to take some of that serpentine green and add just a tiny bit to the stem. Okay, and now I am going to paint in the white spots. So I'm using this white gouache and my size 0 round brush here. Fallon says, I tuned in late, so I'm not sure if you covered this, but are all 3 of these mushrooms part of the challenge? Yes, Fallon, they are. Yeah. Yeah, we have the Saffron Milkcap, which is the one up here that you can't see. And then we have the Amanita Muscaria, and then the witch's hat. So you can be like me and cheat and work ahead, or you can just come back to this tutorial and paint these mushrooms for the day. What am I trying to say? On the day where it says to paint them, like on the prompt list. Okay, so I, like in the sketch or the outline that I provide you, I did draw in the white spots in case you don't have white gouache or you don't want to paint the white spots in if you wanted to paint around them. Just so you know. So for me, since I didn't do that, I'm just going to kind of add these spots in just random areas. And notice how like they're not perfect circles. These spots, if you look at photos of this mushroom, these spots are like imperfect. Yeah, and they're scattered. They're not like perfectly arranged either. So the more imperfect you make these spots and arranging them imperfectly, the more realistic your mushroom will look. Hannah says, I just love adding the final layers and details. I do too, Hannah. That's like my favorite thing ever with painting. It's so fun. And she says, it's so much fun to watch it come to life. I love watching your process from a simple drawing to a lifelike painting. Well, I am so glad you enjoy my tutorials. Have any of you seen these mushrooms like in the wild? I haven't. At least I don't think I have. Okay, so I think I'm done adding the white spots. Sarah says, I never have, so she hasn't seen these in the wild. And she says, they are the perfect storybook mushroom. They are, aren't they? I just love them. I love painting them. They're like my go-to mushroom. Okay, now we're going to add some shadow underneath the white spots. This will just really help make the mushroom way more realistic, because these white spots are not like flat. They're just not flat. So for the color I'm using, I'm mixing a little bit of that serpentine green with burnt umber. And yeah, basically I'm just gonna add some shadow here and there. Okay, and then cleaning my brush and then blending with some water. And you can also, sorry, gently paint in or paint a little bit of this color that I'm working with now, like a brown and green, on parts of the white. And this will also add more depth. But you need to be careful if you use white gouache, because you don't want to reactivate that white gouache and then like smudge it, because gouache, you can reactivate it on a painting with water, so you just have to be careful. Oh my goodness. I keep bumping into my camera. I'm so sorry. Okay, I think I'm done. So let's move on to the witch's hat mushroom, which is this one here. I'm going to move my camera a little bit. Okay. And I think I'm going to take a very quick bathroom break. I'll be back like in 30 seconds. So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Claire says, I feel like there should be elevator music while we wait. That's so funny. uh, yeah, Sarah. Hannah says, yes, maybe her husband should serenade us for the intermission. That is so funny, Hannah. Okay, okay, so let me see. I'm looking at photos of this witch's hat mushroom. All right. Um, Claire says yes. Okay. So let's add some shadow to this mushroom here. I'm kind of having trouble underneath the mushroom. Like, I don't know where the photo is that I like used as inspiration for this mushroom. I can't find it, but okay, I guess I'll just improvise. Let's see. I'm going to, for the shadow, use burnt umber and some green, maybe some serpentine green, although I don't want to add too much of this because I don't know. Okay. Okay, sorry, I'm just looking at some photos. Okay. So I'm going to add this like on the edge here. So this is basically just like burnt umber with a little bit of green. I'm going to kind of paint in that slit right there. And then, yeah, okay. And then I'm cleaning my brush, blending with some water. I still want to keep that very pretty red. Like, I don't want to like paint over it too much, so I don't want to blend too much into the red. I'm gonna add a little bit of this to the outer edge. Okay, I'm reading some of your comments. Liz says, I am behind on the painting part of the fall fungi challenge. All of the drawings are done. And then she says, I had to stop and eat. Way behind now. We'll finish later. Don't worry, Liz. I'm behind too because I haven't painted the puffball yet. At least you have all of the drawings done. That's like, wow, that's awesome. I don't even have that done. Okay, so I'm just kind of making some like little lines in this mushroom, like that. Oh, and she says, I know I'm going to apply for a grant or something, so I can just paint for a while. Wait, you're going to apply for a grant? Oh, that's nice. And then, yeah, that's a great idea, Liz. I agree with Hannah. Okay. Whew. Let's see. I do want to add a bit more yellow. I feel like I want to add more yellow to this mushroom. So I'm going to use my size 4 round brush here, take some yellow. Cleaning my brush. Okay. I'm trying not to use too much water because I want this to be opaque. Okay, and I'm gonna take my size 0 round brush and some red. Kind of add some little detail. Some like little lines. And these lines go in the direction of the mushroom. Okay. All right. Now I am going to paint in shadow underneath this cap here. So I'm going to use burnt umber. With that serpentine green. I'm gonna add some underneath here. I'm sorry if you hear that. Jimmy is playing very loud music. Okay. And I'm going to add more of this color on underneath the, like on the stem, and kind of angle it, have the shadow angle towards the left. Liz, oops. Oh, gosh, I keep bumping into my camera. Okay, Liz. Yes, there is your serenade. Liz says, thanks, Hannah and Allison. It's a hard thing to wrap your mind around and get application just perfect. Oh, I'm sure. I've never applied for a grant, but I am sure that it's, you know, kind of like a stressful process. And she says, it's funny to see the looks on all the guys' faces when I paint at work. Oh, I bet. I bet they're amazed. Amazed at your skills. Okay, I'm going to add some of this towards the bottom. I should probably not put my palette there because I keep bumping into my camera. So I'm going to move it. Okay. All right, and then I am going to add a little bit of green to the stem. And I think even a little bit more yellow because I feel like my stem looks a little too orange. So I'm going to add some more yellow to it. And I want to try and keep those lighter areas. Like I don't want to paint over those. Oh, Liz says not really. They just care about. I don't know if I should say that out loud because I don't know if YouTube would be like, I don't know. But okay. The Fancy Garden. Hi. Good morning. Thank you. She says, or they say, they are looking great. Thank you. Okay. Now I'm going to add some more shadow. So I'm going to take some of this green. Oh, Heather. Oh my goodness. That's you, isn't it? Duh. I should have known that. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So I'm going to add some of this brown green to, like on the edge here. Okay, and then I'm going to blend with some water. And I feel like there are gills or like some kind of line. I can't find the photo I was looking at when I drew this mushroom, so I don't really know. But we're just gonna kind of wing it. So again, I'm mixing that brown and green together. And I'm gonna kind of paint in some lines. And then I'm cleaning my brush and I'm gonna blend those lines a little bit. All right, so now I'm going to paint in the highlights because this mushroom, like, it looks slimy. So I'm going to use some white gouache and paint in those slimy highlights. Okay, and now I'm cleaning my brush. And then with some water, I'm going to kind of work these highlights a little bit. Kind of make them look more soft. So on the edge of them, I'm just going to kind of soften the edge a little bit. I don't know about you, but slimy mushrooms are kind of hard to paint. feel like I added too much of this. I think I might add a little bit of orange. To my white gouache, just so it doesn't look so white, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't know, the highlights, you know, aren't necessarily white. They have some color to them. I don't know how this is gonna look. Okay, I think that's okay for now. I might have to mess with it more later. But let's go ahead and finish off these mushrooms. So I'm going to move my camera up. Okay. There. And you know what? I can just go ahead and move my, like, untape my paper. So now we are going to paint in the bottom. So I'm going to add like some dirt and some grass. And then I might even paint in some leaves too. And yeah, these mushrooms, like, it's funny that I chose red and orange mushrooms. So I feel like it'll be good to have some greenery as well. I feel like green will look very nice with these colors. So I'm going to take my size. Yeah, Joyce says, I love the fall colors. That's true. Yeah, these are fall colors, aren't they? I'm going to take my size 4 round brush. Thank you, Liz. She says, beautiful job. Thank you. I'm going to take some burnt umber. And I'm just going to kind of paint in the bottoms, like some dirt. Okay, so like this. A little bit onto the stem as well. Okay. And then I'm going to do it on all of these other mushrooms. Okay, now I'm going to take some Payne's Gray and kind of add a bit, like some variation into the dirt so that some areas are dark. So I'm just kind of dropping this in. If your brown is dry, go ahead and clean your brush and then blend with some water, like this. Okay, and now I'm going to add some green, some like grass. So I'm using serpentine green. Okay, and I'm going to use my size 0 round brush. And I might use my other brush here that I like to use for grass. Let me show you. This Filbert grainer brush I might use. Let's start out with this tiny brush. And I'm going to take some of the serpentine green, add it to my palette. Add a little bit of water to it. And I'm just going to add a little bit of green here and there into the dirt. Okay, and then add some like grass. I'm going to do the same thing with these other ones. So I'm going to add some green into the dirt here and there. Isn't this green so pretty? Who here has this green? Serpentine green from Daniel Smith. It's like, it's my favorite green. Yes, I'm just going back into this one here. I feel like I kind of wanted to add a bit more grass. Okay, I think that's good. Heather says that one is on my list. I just got the Daniel Smith sap grain and I love it. Nice. I think I have that one. I was gifted sap grain as well, I think, but I haven't used it as much as this one. Thank you, Sarah. Sarah says the mushrooms are beautiful. Thank you. Okay, as a little bonus for like the last 10 to 15 minutes, a little bonus for this tutorial, I'm going to add some leaves to this painting. And I'm at least going to paint like one of them. We'll see if I have time to paint the others. I'm going to take a pencil here and just kind of draw them out. I think I might add like some here, and maybe some like here. Okay. And I don't know if I want these leaves to be like simple or realistic. I don't really know what I want, but we'll see. They're just probably going to be simple, maybe. Okay, here we go. So maybe like okay. I don't like that. Okay, let's do this. Let's just start with that, and then maybe I'll probably add one down here too. So I am going to take my size 4 round brush here and serpentine green, of course. Add it to my palette. And I want this to be light, so I'm going to add a lot of water to it. So with these leaves, I'm going to add 2 layers. The first layer will be light. The second layer will be darker, where I'll add some more like shadows to it. So I'm going to paint in this one. Maybe I'll add a touch of like orange or something to them so that it looks more like fall, like they're kind of transitioning into fall. So I'm gonna maybe drop in some orange. I feel like what I should have done is not paint the whole leaf or like green. Like paint some of it green, leave some of it white, and then in the white paint some orange. But it is what it is. I'm taking my tiny size 0 round brush and I'm just going to paint in these stems. Thank you, Grain. She says, this is beautiful. You've really found your niche. Your skills are, oh, thank you. Okay, let's try painting this leaf like half green. Okay, and then the other half orange. Okay, that looks all right. Now let's move on to this one. I really like this. I really like the orange into the green. Like, yeah, I just feel like it really helps bring the painting together because this orange is in like every one of these mushrooms. Thank you, Ines and Joyce. Thank you. Oops, sorry. Sorry about that. My phone notified me that my battery is low because I forgot to plug it in when I am going live. So I'm going to plug it in. Okay. Hi, Azura. What's your first name? Like, what's your name? I'd love to know. Because I see you during some of my live videos and I just never know your name. Okay, I'm going to take my size 0 round brush and paint in the stem. Okay, I think we do need to add a leaf here. So let's do that. Hi Aditi, she says, thank you for considering these suggestions. I love them. You're welcome. Yeah, so this is the Saffron Milkcap, Amanita Muscaria, and Witch's Hat. And these are all part of the Fall Fungi Art Challenge that is going on right now. I did link it below if you wanted to check out more info on it. Okay, I'm gonna make like a leaf here that kind of curves like this. So kind of like this. This is just how I like to make my leaves, like kind of squiggly. So if you paint leaves, you can just make them however you want. Maybe I'll even add like one that kind of curves like this here. I'm not sure. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Okay. So for the sake of the length of this tutorial, I think I'll paint these on my own, but let's go ahead and add some more depth to these and then we'll be done. So I'm going to take my serpentine green, this time just right out of the pan, and I'm just going to add it like on one side of these leaves. Okay, clean my brush. And like blend this darker green into the lighter green. I'm going to do the same thing over here, and we'll also add a bit more orange. Hi, Claire. Claire says, that palette your mom got you, fabulous. I think it's called a palette. Yeah. Yeah. Which, if you don't know, guys, if you weren't here at the beginning, it's from this Etsy shop, Lavender Lemon Pottery. Hannah says, I told Des the other day that her beetle paintings. Okay. Her beetle paintings have made me take notice of beetles and appreciate their beauty. You have also done this for me with mushrooms. Funny how that happens. Oh, that's awesome, Hannah. Yeah, there's definitely beauty in, like, I think everything, like everything in nature. You just have to look harder. You have to look for it. It's really easy to take things in nature that you see every day for granted and just not notice the beauty. So yeah, I'm just adding this green to like one side of these leaves, and then I'm blending that green into the lighter green. Okay, and then I'm gonna now paint some more orange on these leaves. Joy says, I really like this piece. The addition of the leaves is great. So nice. I'll be painting this on the replay tomorrow morning. Awesome. Yeah, I really like the leaves. I'm really glad I added them. It just gives this painting more, and it just, I don't know, it just really helps. Helps this painting. Gives it more of like a story, I feel like. Is there a fantasy lapsus? I don't understand the name. Can you see the day for everyone? Or okay, well, let me go over the names. The names are also in the description of this video. So this is the Saffron Milkcap, Amanita Muscaria, and Witch's Hat. Did I answer your question? I'm sorry. Hi, Viviana. She says, sorry for not being in the live tutorial. And she says, I've been a little busy with other things, but I'll see and do the mushrooms. Well, I'm glad you're here, Viviana. Okay. And I feel like I can even add a whole other layer to this leaf here just to intensify those colors, but I'll probably do that on my own time. I don't want this tutorial to be super long because it's already 2 hours. So yeah, what do you guys think? I will paint these on my own sometime today. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Let me give you a little close-up here. Thank you, Heather. She says, they are awesome. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It was a lot of fun. Another live tutorial done. I wonder how many I've done. I've been doing live tutorials every Friday for the last, I don't know, since March. Anyways, I'm going on a tangent. I'm reading your comments. Thank you, Lisette, Inez, Joyce. Thank you. So in case you didn't hear, there is a art challenge going on right now that I'm hosting, the Fall Fungi Art Challenge, and the details are linked below in the description. It'll take you to my Instagram and you can see the prompt list. And yeah, thank you, Tamara. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you. I will see you on Tuesday for a studio vlog and next Friday for another live tutorial. I appreciate you. You mean a lot to me. Thank you for your support, for watching my videos, giving me likes and comments. It means so much to me. I hope, okay, I was reading some more comments. I hope you have a lovely weekend. And yeah, take care. Bye, Claire. Hi, me. Hi, Lisette. Bye, Lisette. I meant to say bye, not hi. Bye, Quinn. And Naz, Heather. Bye, guys. Take care.